Hello and welcome to Mickeyology, where we take Disney a little too seriously. I'm Austin Rathall, and today I'm going to be responding to some of the comments that you guys have left on my recent videos. Thank you very much for watching and for commenting, and I apologize if I don't get to your comment here in this video. There are always a lot of great ones, but here are just a few that I thought I would respond to here on screen and maybe talk to you about a little more personally. So let's get started. This first one is from Felicity1877, and this comment was on the Anastasia video, and she says, I really love the Anastasia animated movie, and it was very nice to see the historical facts and locations. Thank you very much. You're welcome. I'm just not so happy about the ballet choice in the movie, as Prokofiev's Cinderella is from the 1940s. The musical uses Swan Lake, which was still not so known outside of Russia around this time. Sigh. Similarly with Ballerina / Leap. Could you perhaps do a video on this? Wow. Yeah, very good point there, Felicity. I have not a lot of background in ballet history, but it seems like you do, so maybe you should be the one doing videos on this. But that is a really great catch. Yeah, there's that scene where Anastasia and Dmitri go to watch the ballet, and I just assumed it was some ballet. I didn't even know it was a real production, but you found out that it was actually a production of Cinderella. So good for you, and thank you for pointing that out to us. This next one is from, I'm going to butcher this name, Pau Cabrera Bayari 649, and this is on the video about when and where the Hunchback of Notre Dame takes place. And he says, good video. There is another detail which may be an anachronism. At the end of the movie, when the camera zooms out, you can see two bridges, Pont Neuf and Pont à Double, I think that's how you pronounce it, which weren't built until the late 16th century and 17th century respectively. Once again, every time I think that I know something, that I'm like cool knowing stuff about Disney movies, you guys show me that you guys are the ones with the really in-depth knowledge. I had no idea about the history of those bridges, but that is an excellent detail that you spotted there. So once again, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Very cool. All right, this next comment is on the video about the Fox and the Hound book, the book versus movie video for that. And Shaquille Burton 1611 says, great book. This year I've read several books from animals' point of view about survival. I love how they're told, how they may not fully understand what it is like a human, but they'll describe certain objects and we, the readers, find out what they're talking about. Yeah, I like that too. I haven't read a lot of books that have that trope, or at least I hadn't until I started reading the books that Disney adapts. But yeah, it's kind of a fun trope that they do in animal books. Like, you get to see things from the animal's perspective as an animal would experience it. And it's kind of fun to like figure out what they are talking about and what it is that they're referencing. And Bambi was one that has a lot of this. So the Fox and the Hound had some of that you're talking about, but Bambi had a lot of that as well. This next comment is from Dave19Cat, and it is on a video from way back about when and where Brother Bear takes place. And Dave19Cat says, would this mean Tug is possibly a short-faced bear, at least partly? It takes place when they were around and he's the size of one. Once again, an amazing detail that you picked up on there. I don't know if they intended Tug to be a short-faced bear, and if you don't know who Tug is, he is in the scene after the salmon run where all the bears are gathering and kind of debriefing about what they've been up to, and Tug is one that was voiced by, I think, Michael Clark Duncan. And yeah, so this is a time when species like the short-faced bear would have been around, and maybe animators did intend for him to be that. And even if they didn't, I don't think there's anything wrong with that being your headcanon. By the way, fun fact about Tug is he, or at least Michael Clark Duncan, was going to be a much bigger part of Brother Bear in the beginning, but then they shifted the story and they changed some things and they shrunk his part way, way down, but he still appears as Tug. He was going to be like the number 2 character alongside, gosh darn it, what's the main bear's name? Why am I drawing a blank? There's Coda, and who's the main one? I've watched this movie so many times. I will cut this part out. Kenai. So, kind of a cool little fact about Tug. And this comment is from Chad Butler 2839, and he is a friend of mine, so hello if you're watching. And he is very kind. He says, I wish I could have taken high school history from you. You bring history to life. And that is very nice of you to say. And I think that I'm going to take this comment and frame it and put it on the wall in my classroom, because every time a kid falls asleep or whispers to their friend that my class is boring or that history is boring, I'm going to point to that and say, I bring history to life, gosh darn it. It is a privilege to be in this room learning from my wisdom. I'm just kidding, guys, by the way. This next comment is from Max Mantel 5009, and he says, do DreamWorks movies. And Max Mantel 5009, I would love to do DreamWorks movies. As a matter of fact, I am doing DreamWorks movies. I just keep those separate from the main channel content, because here on the main channel I want to keep everything Disney. But over on Patreon, and if you sign up for YouTube memberships, you can access videos about DreamWorks movies. I've currently done Shrek, Book vs. Movie, Shrek When and Where, and How to Train Your Dragon When and Where. And then I've got this next month, so after the Wakanda one comes out, I'm doing the Kung Fu Panda series, which I'm really excited about. So there you have it. Those are just a few of the great comments that you guys have left on recent videos. Thank you so much for sharing your comments. Thank you for pointing out these amazing details that you are seeing in Disney movies. It's really fun to get some of that feedback and for me to learn stuff about these movies that I had no idea about before. Please continue watching and submitting your comments. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, just thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.